Hey guys, it's Paul Jang, and today we're going to be talking about Plastiq. So what is Plastiq? Plastiq is a company that helps you pay your bills. I think they also help you receive payments as well, but the real strength of Plastiq for real estate transactions is that you could use credit cards to pay for your house and land deals. You could do ACH payments, a check, and the big one that's really important for title companies is that you could wire transactions. If you have a decent credit score and a couple cards with higher limits, you could pull those credit cards together to be able to do these transactions that you normally wouldn't be able to do if you didn't have the cash on hand. So that's Plastiq in a nutshell and why I would recommend them. So at the time of this recording, Plastiq has a wire transfer that would cost $40. And then if you use credit cards, you'll have to pay 2.85%, which is a decent chunk right off the bat if you are going to do this credit card, land or house purchase. I think the numbers come out to, if it's like 20,000, it'll cost you like $400, a little over $400, like $500, something like that. So you have to kind of weigh those costs, but it's going to be a whole lot cheaper than if you were going to use a partner, whereas a partner might take 25, 30, 40, 50% on a deal. You can use Plastiq to lower that cost. And you could fund it right on the spot. If you used a hard money lender, even a hard money lender would be more expensive. They'll usually have, 4, 5, 6, 7 points. And then on top of that, they'll also have interest, ongoing interest until you have to pay them off. You do a cash out refinance or you sell it, something of that sort. So in general, Plastiq is pretty good. The only way that I could see is a cheaper method to do this is if you use like fast cash. If you had like an A to B transaction, where an A to B to C transaction where you had a property under contract, and then you were going to sell it to someone, and they were going to do a double closing within the same day. A partner was going to come in for a small interest or a specific dollar amount that might be something of worth to their time, where you didn't have to worry about these credit cards. Actually, I still think Plastiq will be cheaper because it's 2.85%. That's like pretty cheap with a $40 wire. That's really cheap, especially if you just combine it with like if you get credit cards with 0% interest. I just think Plastiq is one of the most affordable options if you are able to get enough credit cards, with 0% and deals. Usually they have like those annual 0% interest kind of deals to hook you in. Yeah, like if you use those, like it's going to be much cheaper. So I use Plastiq for land deals. The way I use it is I'll do a wire transfer and use credit cards to make that purchase, to make a land purchase. It's not uncommon for me to have a credit card with 10, 20, or $30,000 balances with credit limits. So most of the land that I could get won't go higher than that. So I just purchase it with a credit card, and then I'm able to and then send it off as a wire to a title company if I'm going to use that method, and then just get my money back when I sell it for cash, or hold it for a little bit. I'm doing it with 0% interest credit card, so I'm able to hold the balance a little bit if I'm doing owner financing and I'm waiting for the money to come in to pay that balance off. So that's the way that I do it with these land deals, especially if I run out of my own savings, or if I'm strapped with cash and I don't want to use a partner. I'm just able to use Plastiq to make these transactions happen. So the way Plastiq works, I did it in combination with Grow and Fund. So I'm able to get limits of up to close to 200 to 250,000 when I put myself and my wife on it together. And then, we're just basically racking up credit cards that have larger balances at 0%. And then when I'm able to do these, that's enough money where I could find a house deal and potentially just purchase a house right off the gate, and then have a year or so that, I'm getting 0%, that I could flip it, fix it, flip it, something. One thing that you have to know with Plastiq is, because if you're still going to use the credit card feature, you still have to account for these minimum payments. And usually when you get to larger dollar amounts, I think the minimum that most of them will ask you is at least 1%. So if you bought something for 100,000 at 1%, that's $1,000 every month that the credit card company will ask you. So you just kind of have to account for that if you use Plastiq for these house deals. Besides that, I just think it's like really great. It essentially opens you up to a lot more potential deals if you're strapped for cash. So I didn't know this when I was getting credit cards, but if you are doing real estate purchases with Plastiq, one of the credit card companies that's just a flat no is American Express. They're pretty stringent on it. I think Plastiq is trying to work with American Express to make that an option for people. But if you have a good American Express card, that's just going to be a no-go for real estate transactions, at least purchasing real estate, whether it's land or houses. But it's still okay though, because you could just use your American Express cards for rehab costs, anything with advertising. So it's not a loss if you have an American Express card. Just know that you won't necessarily be able to use the Plastiq feature in purchasing real estate, whether it's houses or land. So that's something to keep an eye on and to think about. I just want to stress again and again and again, Plastiq is really cool that you're able to do these wire transactions that you normally wouldn't be able to do with credit cards. But you have to know that these are credit cards. I almost pay these balances in full very quickly, or usually within the same month. So you have to be aware this is debt. And if you're not careful with the numbers, if you're not comfortable with the minimum payments, if you're not comfortable with the idea that you're gonna have to pay it back sooner than later, because you don't want to hold these aren't 30-year mortgages. You have to pay these off, otherwise your credit score will dip, and Plastiq will not be an option for you. And I just think you should have good credit score. It opens you up for more deals. So pay back people and make things right, and just be aware of the numbers when you start doing these real estate deals. And that's it. Take care. Check below in the description below for deals and little things to check out. So take care. Have a good one.